You're listening to a special edition of the JustGoBike Podcast. That's AKA Murph.
And that's AP. And this is the award-winning podcast where we talk about cycling just for the fun of it, with tales from all over the nation. Come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile.
On this special pre-ride edition, we're going to provide you with daily tales from the trail as we ride our bikes across the state of Iowa as a part of RAGBRAI 52.
And we apologize in advance for any background noise. We will be recording live in the wild each episode.
We will be right back.
At First Form, they're more than just supplements. They're built for performance, driven by purpose, and proud to fuel the RAGBRAI journey.
First Form helps real people earn real long-term results on the bike and beyond.
From clean energy to high-protein snacks that actually fuel you, they're here to keep you moving, recovering, and riding strong.
Come find the First Form team out on the route. Let's crush RAGBRAI together.
Now, back to the show.
Well, hello, listeners. We have arrived in Orange City, which means the ride inspection has begun.
Yes, we're so excited to bring you coverage of the RAGBRAI 2025 Route Inspection Ride, in which we'll ride all the way across the state of Iowa, testing out the pie, testing out the roads, and making sure the communities are ready for RAGBRAI. So let's get started. This is day 0, and we're podcasting to you live from a Winnebago in Orange City.
Yes. Day 0. So when you guys are doing RAGBRAI, you'll probably be at the expo and listening to music and getting your tent set up. But we're, what are we, 50 days ahead of actual RAGBRAI?
Just about.
And with us is our special guest, ride director Matt Phippen. Hey, Matt.
Hello, ladies. How are you?
So good. So good. So here we are outside of our hotel, kind of getting jazzed up for a great week. Will you tell the listeners kind of like what your goals are for ride inspection?
Absolutely. So I think we have 3 main goals, right? So we want to ride every mile like the riders are going to ride it in July. We do that for a couple of reasons. 1, it's our RAGBRAI, so we're getting the miles in. And 2, if you feel the route is too hard, we can look you in the eye and say, we did every mile just like you did, so suck it up and ride your bike. With all due respect, suck it up and ride your bike.
Yeah.
No, we do it for your, the big thing is the roads. We want to make sure that the roads are in a good spot. So as we've been traveling across, Ann and I in a truck, we've seen, county and state working on roads that, the route is going on. But we're doing it, at 55 miles an hour and at F-150. We are now doing it on bicycles. So there's that side of things. After we are done, we will submit a report to the state and to the county. We have software that was created for RAGBRAI that marks imperfections in the road. We're not going to be able to fix everything, so we'll mark the big ones that could cause problems, be catastrophic towards a bicycle. So centerline cracks, potholes, shoulders that are falling apart, things that could take bikes down. That usually comes out the second week of June, and then, like I said, that goes to the counties, to the state, and to the towns. It's pinpoint location, so they can Google Earth it and kind of see exactly where it's at. We know that they're not going to be able to fix every little thing, but we want to show them the things that we see that could be a problem. That gives them a month and a half, basically, to get out there and make that happen for us, which they're already doing a fantastic job. And then the last thing is checking with the towns. We've been meeting with them a lot. We're now bringing them, I call it kind of the who's who of RAGBRAI, the best of the best. RAGBRAI veterans, bar owners, restaurant owners, law enforcement, podcasters, emergency management, basically people that have been there and done it with RAGBRAI. And we divide and conquer. So we get into these towns, we'll hit 38 towns en route. We schedule roughly about an hour with them, and our team will, just like I said, divide and conquer and hit all the spots. We want to make sure the town feels good about us coming, and we are there to answer all the questions that they have. There's a couple towns this year that are doing actual town halls that night, so we'll be around for the town hall and help with that. But the goal is, we want to make sure that if they have questions, we're answering them. If someone wants to talk to us, we're talking to them. We don't want to leave a town and hear that someone was waiting for us and we didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
So the towns have been kind of working behind the scenes to kind of secure those spots for us. And when we arrive, we'll just kind of be pushed in different spots, and we'll go, like I said, divide and conquer.
So back to the road quality and those sorts of things. I would assume that not every town has the funding, or like you said, the DOT or whoever does road quality has the time or the funds to get roads ready. So what happens then? Because, obviously me as a rider, I have to take responsibility for me pedaling across the state. So not every road is going to be perfect and pristine. So can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. I do believe that, Iowa has some of the best roads in the nation, hands down, because, these counties and these state agencies take pride in the roads.
Sure, yeah.
And we see it. As we build a route, we want to go on fresh roads. There is kind of an algorithm or whatever you want to call it, where they're kind of a secret sauce of trying to be either ahead of the game or behind the game. If a project is wrapping up or starting, when we build routes, if we're trying to go central, and there's Project Central, this year, we may go in 2 years because those projects will be done and we can be on good roads. But, we work with the DOT, we work with, the county, and they take the route that I kind of started with from the beginning, and we go mile by mile. And there's a lot of changes to the route from the standpoint of, hey, have you thought about this road? It's a little bit better quality. It may add a mile here or a mile there, or it may take away some miles. And, I think if you talk to the state, they want you on county roads. If you talk to the county, they want you on all state roads.
Oh, okay.
But we have kind of decided as a team that we're going to put riders on the safest roads. So whatever that is, whether it's a county road or a state road, because there are some times we're leaving communities on a busier state highway. But there's a method to the madness. It's we've been thinking about it. So there's going to be traffic on those roads, but those days with the message boards and everything that we're going to be doing, it limits that. So through us with RAGBRAI, with the state and with the county, we look at every road that we're doing and going on, and we want to make sure that the roads are safe. That's the number one priority. And, with that, they're helping us make those decisions.
Yeah, that's great. What would you say, maybe AP, you can answer this too. Like, what are you most looking forward to this week?
I think for me, it's actually riding a bicycle. I thought, moving into this role, I would be on my bike a lot more. And it just, life happens, and this job is just, it's busy. So it limits me when I can ride. So to be able to go out and ride a bike with this team is something that I look forward to every year. But I think from my perspective, when we get into these towns have been working so hard, and every town hits a wall. There's always a spot where they kind of feel like, the wheels are falling off. It's not working. So this team that we bring kind of goes in there and helps them see that, they're in a good spot. They're moving forward. But like I said earlier, we want to make sure that when we leave, they feel really, really good about the next month and a half ahead of them.
Yeah. For me, it's funny. People have asked us while we're doing the Zwift rides a couple times, what are you looking forward to about route inspection? Obviously, riding a bike is up there for me, but Murph and I both had the same answer every time, and it is the people.
The people.
Matt has been working with these people multiple times through the last couple months since the route announcement. Murph and I have only been to visit the towns once. So this is our opportunity to get to see the friends we made during that one trip again, and to get to meet all the people in the past 3 towns that I've been working with over email or through the RAGBRAI portal or various other ways that we communicate with the towns on Facebook or things like that. But I get to actually meet the people who are really, in many ways, making RAGBRAI happen by volunteering their time, making food, and coming out to greet us. It's just so cool to get to meet the people of RAGBRAI before the event actually happens.
Yes, I completely agree. And then, something, Matt, that you say a lot is, what is RAGBRAI? It's about showcasing Iowa. And this is all of those people's chance to give us kind of a sneak peek at what we're going to see in July. And you can just feel the pride every time you meet somebody, even here in our own, hotel. Yeah. People see the vans and they're like, well, wait a minute, what's going on? And they're so proud. So I love it.
And as we were driving up, we're in Orange City now, like I said, and as we're driving up here, I have asked all the towns to send in some information about their towns. One thing that stands out to me a lot is that, if you just think about towns in RAGBRAI, you might think, oh, well, they're just a small town. They maybe have one stoplight, they have storefronts and stuff, but there is so much more to these towns than meets the eye. I can't wait to tell you all about all these really cool pieces of information that the towns have provided to us, and dive a little bit deeper into what makes these towns special and why do people live in these towns? What makes it so cool? What makes it so attractive to live in rural Iowa?
And I think not only are we going to visit all these towns, but we're going to come to you live every day. Yeah. So whether we are podcasting in the middle of the day or right at the end of the day, we are going to send you a podcast episode every single day. And we will go through wherever we've been. We'll, talk about stuff, people, places, all of it.
Yeah, and this year we have worked really hard to bring you all sorts of information about the route inspection. So obviously we'll have the podcast, but if you are subscribed to the RAGBRAI email newsletter, you can find information there. We'll have a blog post every day, and then we also have a special route inspection page on ragbrai.com. It's super neat because it'll have all of the above information there, but you can also find a little tracker link from our Wahoo Ace computers that we were provided this year, so that you'll be able to track us in real time exactly where we are cycling at that moment. I mean, only during the day when we're actually riding, but it's a pretty neat deal. And if you go there's little rider profiles and all sorts of things, and it's ragbrai.com/route-inspection, but you can also find it in the menu of the website.
Yeah, in the menu, it's just under ride info, and then look up route inspection. And I'm telling you right now, do not make fun of us if we're going slower than you would expect, or if we're going super fast. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm going to make fun of you for going super fast, for sure. Yeah. No, it's you never know when there could be a headwind, but it's the real deal. It's what it's actually like. And you'll be able to see the reason for having the rider profiles is you may be able to pick out a rider who rides a similar speed to you or has a similar background to you, and you could kind of see exactly what it might be like for you to ride it in a couple months.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for, basically all of the hard work you've done this whole year to get us to this point right now. I know AP and I are really, really excited to, be part of this and to actually be on our bikes and see all your hard work.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Let's go bike.
Well, listeners, that's it for today. We both want to thank you for tuning in to listen to this special pre-ride edition of the award-winning JustGoBike Podcast.
If you'd like to contact us with a comment about the podcast, or maybe you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media at JustGoBike on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram.
Please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan.
Okay, that's a wrap. We'll be back soon. Until then,
Just go bike!